Evening, everybody. How's it going? Let's make sure you can see me and hear me okay before we go any further. And we'll get going after that. If you don't mind, somebody throw something in the chat. Let me know, please, if you can see me and hear me okay. I know there's a little delay here from the time that I talk until people hear it. It's about 20 seconds. So we'll give it a sec here. There we go. Lima Charlie. A lot of people jumping on. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. Happy Sunday, March 26th to you. Dan Canham is here. Hugh Merrill's here. Mike F. is here. Chris Olson. A lot of Tangle Tackle Army members here. It's always good to see you. Hey, good evening to you. My name is Chris. I run Dark Blue Charters here in Manistee, Michigan, and we do these Sunday night live streams every Sunday night at 7 p.m. We talk about salmon fishing. We talk about tackle. We talk about waves, weather, wind, you name it, tips, tricks. If you're brand new here, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate you clicking on the video. If you've been here a long time, thanks for coming back. All right, great. Lots of people on. What do we got going on here? 125 people. That was last week. I think we jumped up to like 240. And I'm telling you, for March, that's a heck of a good number. So I appreciate everybody jumping on and taking a moment to answer the poll. So this week's poll question is, if you haven't taken it yet, please do so. We got 98 votes on it. My boat is, fill in the blank, brand new, 7% brand new. 1 to 5 years old is at 13%. 5 to 20 years old is at 36%. And then more than 20 years old, which is sitting right where I am on my big boat. My boat's at 40 years old, but more than 20 years old is well on the lead at 44%. And that's not surprising. A lot of boats out there that I see, some very well-maintained older boats out there I see every year. So, hey, good for you if you got an older boat and you're keeping her going. Well done. If you got a brand new boat, hey, if it's your first boat, welcome to the sport. Have fun at the boat ramps. I love boat ramps. I tell you, there's nothing more fun than going down and watching the boat ramp every now and then, grabbing a bag of popcorn and a drink of your choice. Of course, if you're in a car, can't have anything adult, but just going down to a boat ramp and sitting and just maybe watching for a little while. I've done that a few times over my lifetime. And I've been there. We've all been there. Unless you have a lot of experience backing a boat into the water or just backing around a trailer, really. I mean, it can be a little tricky. It definitely can be a little tricky. I've seen I saw a guy one time. This was at Onekama. He probably had a 25, 26 cuddy cabin. And he was pulling it with like a 1985 Chevrolet. What was the old police cruiser Chevrolets? The Caprice Classics. And he was pulling that thing with that. And that boat was dragging that car down into the water. And he eventually had to jackknife the boat over so the boat slammed into the dock. Otherwise, he would have gone for a swim. So it was a little comical, a little scary at the same time for him, I'm sure. Mandy Argensinger's here. Good to see you, Mandy. Is Scott on here as well? I haven't. Let me check some chat here. Mark Pearson here, Jeff Kinney, David Robotham, all Army members. Chris Olson, Pat Enos as well. Hugh Merrill, Dan Canham, like I said. Nyson Mead here. He's a moderator from Tangle Tackle. If you got any questions regarding the shop, Nyson's here, and he will be happy to help you out. Patrick Forrester as well, another Army member. If you wonder what I mean by Army member, if you look in the chat and you see some of the names are highlighted in green, those are Tangle Tackle Army members. They support the channel, and they get access to our private Discord, which is really just a great big chat room for all of us to go in there and talk fishing whenever we want. I've been enjoying the heck out of that thing. Oh, there's Scott Argensinger. Good to see you, man. Scott's another moderator, and of course he's representing Dreamweaver as well. Good to see you, Scott. That reminds me, let me make sure I get this. All of these live streams are proudly brought to you by Dreamweaver Lures. Check them out at dreamweaverlures.com. Love Dreamweaver. You want to catch fish, go out there and get yourself some Dreamweaver. You'll head out and you'll do very, very well. Love the stuff. Scott, good to see you though. All right. Allow me to catch back up here. Yeah, anyway, I was saying if you want to be a Tango Tackle Army member, the link is down in the description. You get access to our private Discord. You get access to some early videos. Sometimes I will release a video a day or two early to all the Army supporters. And yeah, it's a great place to hang out on that Discord, just talk fishing. We've been doing it for a while. Anyway, let's Jay Fogarty, good to see you also. I'm going to grab a drink of my tea. This is going to be really, really hot. So if I scream, it's warm. All right. Let's jump into some housekeeping things, and then we will get into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is, how do I want to say this? My predictions for some of the best rotators coming up in 2023. I know I have it labeled as top 10 rotators for 2023, but the way I'm going to look at this is if I was just getting started and I wanted to pick out 10 rotators, spin doctors, paddles, and such that I must have, that I got to take out on the lake, and they are must-haves. These are going to be the ones I would choose. And this is just me. And if yours is not on the list, I would love to hear your comments down in the comment section. I'd love to hear what some of your favorites are. I know some of yours on your list are not going to be on my list, and that's fine. You know, we all have kind of our own confidence gear, our own go-to baits. But these are some of the things that have worked very, very well for me over the years. So I'll have 10 of those, and I'm going to have 5 OLIs, outside looking in. So the 5 really outside looking ins could have really made the cut. But some of those, man, it was hard to trim the fat. I tell you what, there's so many good ones. It was hard to trim off some of that fat. So anyway, we'll have 5 OLIs, and we will have 10 of what I think are going to be the top rotators for 2023. Let's talk about a couple other things first. So a lot of you guys and gals have been picking up some of the brand new shirts that we have on our website. The website is down below in the description. This shirt's one of them right here, the spoon-fed shirt. People love this thing. I love this thing. These shirts, you know, some shirts you get of that really, really heavy cotton material. I can't stand those things. These speak English. These are those like 80% cotton, 20% polyester or somewhere in there. These are super comfortable and thinner. So these are really, really nice. Anyway, the shirts that we have on the website, and this has been by far the favorite. These colors run deep shirt. So you can see American flag on there. Underneath that, it says these colors run deep. And if you look real close, you'll see that the flag is made up of certain things that you'll probably recognize. So we have that shirt, and we have a special limited edition Dreamweaver sweatshirt. That sweatshirt is cool. I ordered one. I got one for Scott and Shane down at Dreamweaver also, but on that sweatshirt, you're going to get that logo on the front. On the back, it's going to have the Team Dreamweaver logo. And then on the sleeve, it's going to have Team Dreamweaver. So that is a limited time sweatshirt. Everything is going on sale starting tonight at midnight from 3/27 until 4/02. So March 27th to April 2nd, we're going to have a 20% off sale. Everything in the shop. Everything in that link down there in the description is going to be 20% off until April 2nd. That sweatshirt is then going to go off the market. And I don't know if I'm going to bring it back or when it's going to be back. I don't know. But it's going to be off the market after that sale is over for a while. Maybe permanently. I haven't decided yet. So if you have not grabbed up that sweatshirt and you want to get one, you're going to want to jump on there in the sale. So save yourself 20%. When you go into the website, there's a little banner up on top. It will say redeem. Click on that, and you'll get your 20% off. It is a cool sweatshirt, though. And again, it's not that real heavy material. It's that softer, really nice sweatshirt material. I love it. Anyway, grab that up. Grab up what you want. Sales going on, like I said, tonight, midnight until April 2nd. The real giveaway. So Scott and I did that drag upgrade on this 45 line counter, this 45D. That giveaway we will do. This is the reel right here. Get the clicker on. Oh, yeah. That's such a nice sound. We will give this reel away. This has the drag upgrade on it. This is the one from the video. We will give that away on April 8th. So just a couple weeks away. And we will also announce the 5. Steve Taylor just joined the Tangle Tackle Army. Steve, thank you very much for joining up, buddy. We will also announce the 5 flies that we chose as the winners for the Purple Taco contest. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we are looking for 5 flies to go onto the Purple Taco catalog, onto their recipe page. I'm asking everybody to mail those flies to the shop. That address is down below. If you go down and click Tangle Tackle Company, and really all of these rotators, everything that we talk about tonight, if you want to get them, Tangle Tackle Company, that website's down below. That's still hot. If you're looking to get anything, that's a great place to go. It's, in my opinion, the best place to go. If you send those flies to the shop, they'll get into my hands. I'm going to judge those up over the next couple of weeks. Then also on April 8th, we will announce the winners of that. So if your fly is chosen, not only are you going on the Purple Taco website with your name, the name of the fly that you choose, you're also going to get a $50 $50 gift certificate to Purple Taco from Leroy and Deb Downing, owner-operators of Purple Taco Fly Supply. So that's really cool. You will be famous forever. People will be talking about your flies forever and ever. Yeah, Lloyd Duncan. Dude, I tell you, I love that sound too. I want to do it again. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's such a good sound. It's coming too. What else? Oh, the river fishing video is coming out soon. That $100 steelhead challenge. I've been pounding the banks, searching for a steelhead. Did I get one? Did I not get one? I don't know. You guys will have to watch the video. They'll be out here in a week or two. I will tell you this. This morning, I went out fishing with my good friend Jake Bartinsky on Netminder Charters. Myself, my good friend Brian from Real Heroes Charters, and Jake and I, we went out on a steelhead trip. Had a blast this morning. Got some great footage. Got some nice fish in the boat. Excuse me. So that will be part of that video as well. I think it's going to come out really well. I think everybody should enjoy it. Anyway, let's do the weekly fishing report.
We don't see that every day.
All right, weekly fishing report coming up. So, obviously, we all know ice is done. Around here, anyway. If you still have ice around where you're at, please be careful. Excuse me. So, around here, pierhead fishing has been pretty decent. Brown fishing has been good. I'm hearing lots of reports of people going out. I know Hugh that's on here. He was out the other day. He got a brown. I've heard of some other people going out as well, running the sandbars and catching quite a few, but not quite a few, but 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 is much better than what we've had in the past, let me tell you. So I'm really excited about brown showing back up. I wish I still had my small boat because I would be out there tomorrow chasing those things. Man, what a storm we had yesterday. I don't know about where you guys and gals are at, but we got pounded here. I mean, we probably had a foot of snow at my place. And today, of course, it's just a big, wet, sloppy mess. But I tell you what, browns out there, if you can get out there and chase some browns right now, just run that second and third, really that first, second, and third sandbar, just some nice body baits. Red with black squiggle thin fins are one of my all-time favorite for browns. That thing just catches fish. Floating Rapalas are always my go-to. And I know there's lots of good body baits out there, but I've been a floating Rapala fan for browns for many, many years. Just the natural colors, the golds and the silvers. Those things seem to love them. So one debate that I've heard over the years is browns are spooky, browns are not spooky. And I've always been in the mindset I think browns are a little spooky. So I've known some guys that run husky jerks, Rapala husky jerks for browns and have done well. I've never done that because the husky jerks have a rattle in them, and I've always felt that that rattle might spook them off. I see a couple people join the Army. I got to shout them out real quick. Thomas Hurley, thanks for jumping on. Martha Gould as well. Thanks very much for supporting the channel and joining the Army. But I'm a huge fan of just solid floating Rapalas like the F9s and the black. I'm sorry, and the gold and the silver. They work wonderful. If you got the thin fins, like I said, the natural color on the thin fins, those are great as well. And then also that red thin fin with the black squiggles on it. Love it. Absolutely love that thing. Troll those sandbars. Run your boards out. Don't be afraid to get those boards up into the skinnier water. I'm talking like 4 or 5 foot of water. Those browns are going to be up in there chasing bait. If you can't get out and do that, don't overlook shore fishing. Head out there with a nice big tall surf rod. Chuck some spawn bags out there. Let it sit. Don't be surprised if you get a few steelhead on that way, as well as a few lake trout, maybe even a brown or two. River fishing today, I can talk about it because I was out there. We had bites on spawn. We had no bites on beads, and we worked the heck out of that bead. I was really surprised. Nothing came on a bead. The majority of the bites that we had came on spawn bags, below bobbers, as well as plugs. We did have one nice fish come on a plug, and that was at the end of the day. Eric Seal, if I'm Celier, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Eric. I apologize. Welcome to the Army, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate it. Anyway, plugs, we tried really early, and then later in the day, we only had the one bite on the plugs. But spawn, right at the crack, you know what, of dawn, though that was really, really going. Under bobbers, floating it down into the holes. The fish that we caught were all hens. One was spawned out, so the other one was not. A couple other ones didn't even make it into the boat, but that's okay. That's the way it goes. Those are such fun to catch. Nice and Meat saying Tippy is also good for beads and spawn from his reports, and that corresponds really with what I'm seeing as well. You know, the fish are probably midway through their spawn right now. I'm talking about the steelhead up in the rivers. You know, some will be on gravel, some will be in holes, some will be in some of the lazy holes. You're going to find them really all over the place. You could find them as much as 3-4 foot of water. You might find them in a 12 foot deep hole. It's hard to say, but there's a lot of fish still in the river. So that's an exciting thing to me. Glad to see good, healthy fish in the river system. Trying to think what else I could tell you about the fishing report. That's really about all I've heard around here. I know some boats have been out of Manistee Lake chasing around some perch. But I think the hot topic right now that's on everybody's mind is the brown trout, hopefully showing back in decent numbers this year. I'm super stoked about that. Dave Ristow, you want to know who has the oldest boat? Let's see how the poll's going, Dave. That's a good question. So if you haven't answered the poll yet, please do so. Poll question tonight is, your boat is either brand new, 1 to 5 years old, 5 to 20 years old, or more than 20 years old, and still way out in the lead with 160 votes, is more than 20 years old. My boat, my big lake boat, turns 40 years old this year. A lot of still, you know, some really good old boats out there. Jay Fogarty, you're in the Dakotas, man. I hear you. You still have 30 inches of ice on your lake. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, sooner or later, old Todd Jay. I'm looking forward to having you on the charter again this year. Anybody watching this, if you ever want to come fish a charter with us, my website is down below. Click on, give me a call. I'm happy to get you out if I can. All right. Let's jump into this week's topic of the week. And this should be a good discussion. I'm looking forward to hearing what all of your go-to rotators are. Again, I'll talk about this in a way that if I was just starting off, these would be the 10 good Lord, I cannot speak tonight. These would be the 10 rotators that I would highly, highly consider putting into the boat. Anyway, let's get into the topic of the week. All right, here we go. Top 10. Well, not top 10. Like I said, and by, you know, if you read the title of this video, it's going to tell you, you know, top 10 salmon rotators for 2023. Again, these are my predictions based on what's worked for me very well in the past. There, like I said, there's some that I just had a hard time trimming off the list. They're so darn good. But I had to trim it down to 10, and then also I told you I'm going to have 5 OLIs outside looking in. So let's jump over onto the Tangle Tackle website so we can we can take a look at what we got going on here. There we go. Put myself down here in the corner where I belong. We'll get rid of that background so it's a little easier to see. All right. So, TackleTackleCompany.com. There's a very ugly guy staring right back at you. Who in the heck could ever watch that guy? We'll jump in here to menu. Go to tackle. We'll go to Dodgers, Flashers, and Attractors and jump into the Dreamweaver because, again, I don't mean to sound like a commercial here in any way. I just trust Dreamweaver gear. If I didn't trust Dreamweaver gear, I would be talking about something else. I guarantee that. And there's a lot of times on this channel I do talk about other things. I never want to sound like a broken record. Dreamweaver, Dreamweaver, Dreamweaver. You get it. It's just what I trust day after day. And I'm going to give you, like I said, some of the best ones I think that will put fish in the boat for you. So, OLIs, outside looking in. We will start right here on page 1 with the studs, the blue-green studs. So some of these I'm going to actually tell you, I might give you a double. You know, I might tell you one or two, but, you know, I might tell you one, I'm going to give you a double. This is one of those doubles. So right here, the chrome blue stud and the chrome green stud, these things came out, I believe, last year. And honestly, these could easily make the top 10. It's just that I do not have a big enough sample size with these yet to really put that much trust into them. Caught a lot of fish on them. That's why they're making the outside looking in list. Next one, page number 2. And this one might surprise some people, but this one has been a good rotator for me for a lot of years. The chrome blue. And they used to have one that was just all chrome on one side with that blue on the other one. This thing is really, really good, especially early in the season for me. And that doesn't mean that it's not going to work late in the season as well, but I've had enough trust in that thing over the years where I'm confident with it making the list. With a meat rig or with a fly. Next one, page 3. Now, this one was really hard to trim off the top 10. And you'll see why in a second. It's the Wonder Bread. This thing is such a versatile rotator. It was really hard to trim out of the top 10. You can catch lake trout on that thing. You can catch kings on that thing, steelhead on that thing. Meat rigs, flies, it doesn't matter. That thing is one of the most versatile rotators out there. It's really that good. Number 4. And I had to throw this one in there because if you're going lake trout fishing, you got to have a double chrome. Not necessarily, you don't have to have the 10-inch. The 8-inch is the one that I prefer. But if you're going to go lake trout bouncing on the bottom, you got to have a double chrome. And it's just that simple. That's why it's in the outside looking in category. And then the last one outside looking in is on page 5. And this one broke my heart not to put in. I mean, there's another one, that blue bubble. That one could easily make the list. But anyway, this one broke my heart not to put into the top 10. And that is the Double Crush Glow. This thing is such a good rotator, especially early in the morning for kings with flies and meat rigs, 8-inch, 10-inch, the Bigfoot, the 12-inch. That is such a good one. Like I said, that one absolutely broke my heart not putting that thing into the top 10. But anyway, that's the outside looking in 5. And if you're looking to pick up 5 extra ones, those would be 5 that you would really want to look at. Anyway, let's jump into my top 10. No picture on this one, but it's probably no surprise to anybody. Whoops, sorry. The A-Bomb. This one came out last year. Scott put this out in an 8-inch paddle, and I absolutely love that thing. We caught tons of fish on that thing. I wish there was a picture of it right there. It's fashioned after the A-Bomb spoon. But that thing, I know that they're putting it out this year in a spin doctor, I believe, with both a white blade as well as a chrome blade. So that thing I'm really excited about, and I have enough confidence in that thing to know that it's going to be devastation to the fish. We'll jump into page 2 and these are in no particular order. Just understand that these are all just the top 10 that I think will definitely put fish in the boat for you. No particular order. So number 2, right there, the Atomic Chrome Killer. That thing is a wrecking ball with a pickled sunshine meat rig behind that, with a pickled sunshine fly, with a Riverside fly, with a Big A fly from KRW, with a Genie fly. You name it. That thing is just a fantastic rotator. 8-inch, 10-inch. I prefer the 10-inch for the meat rigs. The 8-inch is great for flies, but you really don't have to stick to that scenario if you don't want to. That thing with a meat rig behind it or a fly behind it, it's going to do very well for you. All right, number 3, which my notes say, I'm sorry, it's on page 2 here, so where are you? Right there. Probably my best meat rig rotator over the last 2-3 years. This thing has really taken over. Love this thing in the 10-inch. If I'm not getting anything on the Dreamweaver, like 11-inch paddle down the chute, down my center downrigger, I can't get that thing to go. I've been running this thing many times with the meat rig as a replacement on my center downrigger. Meat rigs that I love on this thing, I mean, you name it, you can run it on there. The Pickled Sunshine, the Riverside meat rig, the the Moo rig, that's a great one on there as well. The Kryptonite. There's a couple Diabolical rigs that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But that thing right there, down on the center downrigger or on your low divers with meat rigs, fantastic. They do really well with flies as well. But that thing has really been good for me over the last 2 or 3 years for running meat. Meat was off though last year. It really was. We didn't have a ton of meat bites, but that one had quite a few. Enough to make it into my top 10. All right. Number 4 says it's on page 3. We'll jump to there. And this will be no surprise to anybody. The two-face in the paddle, in the 8-inch flip fin Dreamweaver paddle, as well as the 8-inch Spin Doctor, as well as the 10-inch Spin Doctor with flies is a nightmare to kings. They love this thing. They can't lay off it. Pickled Sunshine, KRW Riverside fly, the Big A fly, the Aqua Gold Glow KRW fly, the Genie fly from, I believe that's a Rapture fly. So many good ways to go with this thing. That thing easily makes it into the top 10. It's caught enough fish for me to make it there without any trouble. Scrolling down a little more. And I'm sure I'm going by some that you guys are screaming at me. Maybe you're screaming at me because that green jeans hasn't been talked about yet. I don't know if it's even going to make it. But the Dragon Slayer, that thing is fantastic. Flies and meat rigs as well. Bright sunny days, that thing is a must-go-to. The chrome blade with a high flashback, with a great UV tape, the glow ladder back, that thing is great. Flies and meat rigs, all the flies that I've already named, all the meat rigs that I've already named, that is a go-to. And not just on my boat, on many others as well. All right, jumping into page 4. I'm passing that green jeans. You're probably some of you out there yelling at me right now. Will I come back to it or not? Hard to say. All right, page 4. Where am I going here? All right, so another double for you here because I can't really pick between one or the other. The Chrome Frog in the 8-inch, 10-inch, and the UV Chrome Frog. UV Chrome Frog. These things have been great for me and a lot of other boats over the years with flies and meat rigs. A lot of people around here, for whatever reason, call this one right here the Fat Nancy, and it's not a Fat Nancy. I think anybody has ever seen a Fat Nancy from over in the New York area knows darn well that is not a Fat Nancy. But for some reason, that thing has the nickname around here, Fat Nancy. I don't know why. So I used to call my friend Jeff on Hot Ticket, and he would tell me, hey, we're hitting him on the Fat Nancy. And I would start running the real Fat Nancy, and I wouldn't catch a fish on it. And it finally dawned on me why we were having a disconnect. But anyway, either one of those two is going to do really well for you. I think the UV on the brighter days, of course, is going to do better. On your darker days, just the straight up Chrome Frog will do a little better for you. Anyway, moving on. There's one up here at the top of page 4 that's also on the list, the Live Wire. I would say on average, probably my best meat rig flasher over the past several years. This thing is really, really good. With the Green Mile, the Dreamweaver Green Mile meat rig, the Big Water Green Mile meat rig, those two right there on this thing, they just work. They absolutely work, especially on the 10-inch version. You can also run it with flies. In the 8-inch version, you're going to do really well on that. But that one, on average, like I said, has probably been my best meat rig flasher for over the course of many years. And if you're been on this channel for a while, that's not the first time you've heard me say that. Anyway, moving on to page 5. And of course, I'm going to have that one on the list, even though this one stunk for me last year. And you're going to have years that are like that, like your go-tos just are not working for you. That one right there last year stunk for me. And the year before that, I know it put at least one 30-pounder in the boat. It might have been both 30-pounders came in the boat on that thing 2 years ago. But last year, we actually struggled with that thing. For whatever reason, you're going to have those dud years. But that thing, year after year, typically is going to put a bunch of fish in the boat for you. And it's won tournaments so many times. So many boats out there run it. It's such a good rotator. It absolutely has to be in your tackle box. All right, scrolling down. Another one that's going to be no surprise to anybody, and this is this is my number one flasher right here. I'll confidently say that. The white double pearl has put so many fish in our boat and other boats that I can confidently say that this is my number one flasher. Any time of the day, early morning, later in the day, mid-afternoon, dusk, you name it, that thing is putting fish in the boat. That thing with a Riverside fly or a pickled sunshine fly behind it, 8-inch version, 10-inch version, it's just going to put fish in the boat. The 10-inch version with a Riverside meat rig or a pickled sunshine meat rig or just totally forgot. Oh, the Green Mile or the Green Gas. All of those meat rigs are going to work well for you behind that thing. That thing it's a bad you-know-what. All right, and just a little down from that, the black double pearl glow. This thing, if it's darker out in the morning, that thing sometimes will outdo that white blade. Absolutely. On darker days, absolutely will outdo that white blade. So if you're going to have one, you're going to want to have the other. I'm just telling you that right now. And for everything that I already mentioned to run behind that, it's going to work on this one as well. So you got the white and you got the black. Both of them are fantastic. And that rounds out my top 10. Well, not really my top 10, but those are the 10 that I absolutely have confidence in year after year after year. And if you were just building up your arsenal, those are the ones I would highly recommend looking at. So don't just think of it as a spin doctor as well. Many of these are also available in the flip fin flashers. Let me see if I have them here just where I can show you what those look like. Yep. So here's many of them right here in the paddle side, paddle style rather, in the flasher style. Most of these are 11-inch, but here's the 8-inch chrome two-face, so you get an idea of what the paddles look like as well. All right. So if you're looking to get these things in the colors that I just mentioned, don't overlook grabbing them up also in the paddle style. There's days that the spin doctors work. There's days that the paddles work. There's days that both work. It's a good idea to have something else in the toolbox that just might work for you. If the spin doctor's not working, maybe flip it over to the paddle. Or if the paddle's not working, flip it over to the spin doctor. All right. Anyway, let's get back into the live stream here. There we go. Make sure I still got everybody. All right. Excuse me. Charlie Reeves joined the Army. Charlie, thank you very much for doing that, my man. What else did I miss on here? All right. Lance Loca also joining up on the Army. Thanks, Lance. Appreciate it. Let's see if I missed anybody else. There's so many good comments on here. I always go back, every time I do these things, I always go back and read the comments. I really love hearing what people put in these things. Yeah, TD Schlout saying Atomic Chrome Killer was your third best last year. Scott Argesinger chiming in there saying that the A-bomb is going to come on a glow blade and on chrome. That's wonderful. Phil Quinn saying the chrome A-bomb will be a must-have. Yeah, it's stupid good. All right. Get back down here. Tom S. saying he can't catch a cold on Kevin's girlfriend. Isn't that funny, Tom? Isn't that funny how one boat can just say absolutely must-have and another guy saying can't catch anything on it? Deer Hunter asking, are we making a package out of all 10? I have no plans on that, Deer Hunter. Maybe Tangle Tackle will consider doing something like that. If you look back on Tangle Tackle's website that I was just on, you'll see many of those things are out of stock right now. That's because I'll say we, but it's not me. I don't work at the shop. I don't own the shop. But I'm in there enough or I can comfortably say we. But Tangle Tackle is just now loading up on all the rotators, all the big lake gear for the season. So keep an eye on the website. I can't guarantee we'll put all 10 into a package. It's something I can certainly bring up. Nyson, you're on here. If you want to bring that up to the owner, might not be a bad idea. And again, though, Dreamweaver, I don't know where they're at on stocking right now. Scott, if you can chime in and maybe give people an idea if some things are out of stock for you guys, maybe when they'll be back around. It's because it's definitely getting there. The time where people are wanting to put new tackle in the boat. Landon Freeman Outdoors. What do I run on slide divers for cohos? I thought you asked that in the past, Landon. That's fine. Or maybe it was somebody else. Landon, I'd like a lot of spoons. We don't get a monster coho bite up here like they do down in the south. Our coho bite comes a little later in the year. We definitely get some throughout the summer, but we don't have the warmer water that the south has right now. So the cohos are all down there gorging on bait. But some of the best coho spoons can be some of your best steelhead spoons as well, if you think about it. Like the Magic Man, the Spotted Magic Man, the Buffalo Bill. Something with a little orange and a little good flashy green in it. A lot of those things are going to work really well for you. The 8-inch Dodger, the metal Dodgers, the 8-inch metal Dodgers with peanut flies behind them can do really well for you. If you're going to run that Dodger, I highly suggest you run it in the orange. That's a great color. And Dreamweaver has a great selection as well of 6-inch spin doctors made specifically for coho in a lot of really, really good colors. So I would highly recommend checking that out as well. Anyway, it's a good question. Travis Rosinski, what's my ideal way of attaching a fly to a spin doctor? Travis, I have a ton of videos on this channel showing you how to do exactly that. For me, it's a double loop knot onto a swivel, or with the way Dreamweaver has it now with a double swivel, double loop knot onto that swivel, you're good to go. All right. If you need more information on that, like I said, I have a ton of videos on here, actually just from a couple weeks ago, showing you how to do that exact thing. So please check that out. Scott Argesinger saying that they have most of that stuff in stock. Great. Scott, glad to hear it, man. I'm on my way down there next week then to pick some stuff up. All right. Appreciate all the questions. I appreciate everybody that jumped on the Tangle Tackle Army tonight. That really helps the channel out. So if you have more questions, what I like to do is I will shut down the visual aspect of this, and you're still more than welcome to stick around in the chat section, ask away all the questions that you want. I normally stick around. Of course, I stick around, but a lot of other guys stick around as well and help answer those questions. There's a lot of really, really good fishermen on this channel. And if I don't know the answer, most of the time, there's a lot of people on there, they may know the answer for me. Joe Wilbaum saying, I'd like to know how you run a 5 and a 7 color. Do you run the 5 out farther than the 7? Yeah, absolutely, Joe. So if you think about your spread, you always want your most shallowest lines furthest out, making a V down to the center of the boat. The reason being is if I have my 5 color outside of my 7 color, when a fish hits that 5 color, typically what a fish will start doing will start coming up towards the surface. They may not surface right away, but typically they will start coming up towards the surface. So as the fish hits that 5 color, it will slide over the top of that 7 color. If it's reversed, where the 7 color is on the inside, that 5 color is going to tangle right into your 7 color, and you're going to have a bad day. So definitely shallowest lines on the outside. Joe Krishnick saying, yeah, just made a $450 order to Dreamweaver last week. Received the whole order in less than a week. He appreciates the service, Scott. That's very nice of you. Very nice of you, Joe. Scott, good job to you guys. You guys always do good. I mean, you guys always do good on your shipping. Matt Cam asking, if I could only run the 8, 10, or 11-inch paddles, which one would you choose? Oh, Matt, man. That's almost impossible because I love the 11-inch paddle down as my deepest presentation on my center downrigger. Barring that, I would take the 8s just because I catch a ton of fish on flies behind the 8s. But if you have the means to grab up a few 11-inch paddles, like the double white slick, the double black slick, run that as your deepest presentation, you're going to do really well on that with a big, long fly leader behind it. Go back and watch some of the videos from the last couple of weeks. I actually go over exactly the lengths of flies, the leaders, how I tie them up, how I measure them, all those things. So that's a really good question, but it's almost impossible to answer. But the 8-inch is really good. Jason C saying cohos will cross your lines anyway. Jason, you're not joking. Yeah, going coho at the back of the boat, no doubt about it. And Jay Winfield asking another impossible question. If I could only run one rod all the time, what would it be? Jay, that's impossible, man. There's no way because every day is a little different. If I was thinking about like my optimum 6-rod spread, it'd be 2 divers, two long lines, and 2 downriggers. And there's no way I could choose like one for every day out of those 3 presentations. They're all good on different days, or all good on the same day, or they all stink on some days. Philip Quinn asking, what fly am I thinking of for the Chrome A-Bomb? Phil, I mean, you can't go wrong, of course, with the Dreamweaver Pickled Sunshine, the KRW Riverside fly, but there's a few KRW flies as well. The Green Crinkle from Dreamweaver is really good as well. But Purple Taco has some of their flies on the recipe boards are really good as well. But KRW has some flies like the Aqua Gold Glow, the Big A. That's such a good fly that people overlook all the time. The Dark Blue fly, named after my boat, can be really good also on really bright sunny days. So, yeah, there's a lot of flies out there. You just need to experiment with them. Tom S. saying his number 1 rod of choice would be a wire diver. Topman's not a bad choice. It's actually the first one that popped in my head as well. But it's almost impossible. Reds 26. Thank you for coming along on the Army, Reds. I do appreciate you supporting the channel. Very nice of you. All right. I'm going to start shutting down the visual side of this thing, like I said. Please stick around. If you have more questions, stick around. We will be in the chat, and we will stick around as long as you guys need to get those questions answered, or come back next week. We do this every Sunday night. Every Sunday night, 7 o'clock, you can ask your questions there. Don't forget, if you want to grab up that really, really popular limited edition Dreamweaver sweatshirt that has that logo on it, as well as the Dreamweaver media on the sleeves and on the back. That sale starts tonight. That website for that sale, go down into the description. Just look at the clothing link, click on that, go to the shop, and grab that up. 20% off starting tonight at midnight until the 2nd of April, wherever I put my list. Yeah, I believe it's the 2nd of April. So grab that thing up. You're not going to be disappointed with that thing. That is a really, really sharp shirt. And we got a lot of the great ones on there as well. So anyway, Jeff Giddy, thank you for the nice comment there. As another great show. You're very, very welcome. Let's shut this down. We will head over to the chat section, and we'll stick around right there for a while. Anyway, thanks, everybody. I do appreciate it. Y'all take care.